Hi there, it's Matthew from Matthew North Music here again. Now, I'm sat here at my desk, my beloved BBC Micro here, and I haven't forgotten about the Beeb. A few people have been mailing me if I'm going to do any more videos about the Beeb, and the short answer is yes, I am. I do plan to do some very basic tutorials in how to program the Ample music language. I've also recently acquired some more BBC Micro music software, which I'm going to do some demos with, and I'm going to do a few more fun things with the Beeb. So yes, there will be more BBC videos coming very soon. Anyhow, I decided to have a look at Reverb because I was quite curious about a few old pedals. Let me show you what I mean. This caught my eye. This is called the Dallas Rangemaster Treble Booster, and these were made in the mid-60s, and people like Brian May have been known to use them. And rather than it being a strict pedal, it was a box that you'd put on the top of your amplifier. You'd plug your jack cable into your amp, you plug your guitar into the box, and it would in essence give you a bit more top end and a bit more gain. And this was particularly useful for amps like JTM 45s, which were always thought of at the time as being a little bit top light. So you'd buy one of these boxes, pop it on the top, and away it goes. Let's have a look at a few pictures of it. So looking at full screen, you can see it's a nicely battered old tin box. And at the back, there you go, it's got a nut to remove the back. And it's got a jack socket at the back that goes to your amplifier. I think the originals, it might have just been an actual cable. It might not have been a jack socket. And if you look at the inside, well, there's not a lot to it. There's one transistor, there's a resistor there, two resistors there, two capacitors there. That's it. That's all there is. Not very much else. And you can see this one's obviously had some work done because these wires have been heat shrinked. And what you also have to do with these is you actually have to isolate the jack sockets from the case, because the design of the circuit was that the negative side actually went to the plus volts rather than the minus volts. But it's like a back to front circuit really. And there's another close-up. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 electronic components there that I can see. 7 of course with a transistor, all mounted to a little bit of tag board with some nice blobby solder. What's special about that? It's a nice old vintage pedal. Yeah, I agree with that. But it's this. The price. £3,568.69p plus £89.24p shipping. Now, that is a lot of money for a pedal. And let's see if we can find any others. Well, there's our 3000 one. There's obviously some reproduction pedals, but even a reproduction, look, it's £249, £200. There's one done as a pedal for £92. Well, that's a bit more sensible. £189 for a repro, £249, £249. These pedals are quite expensive. And the question is why? Well, I think the notoriety and the rarity is what makes this one expensive. So yeah, it's a nice old pedal. You know, I'm not going to dispute the fact that that's had, 60 plus years of gigging, touring or whatever. But is it really worth £3,500? I don't think so. But I'd love to know what one sounds like, so I'm going to make one. Right then, what do we need to build this pedal? Well, we'll need a little bit of Vera board. We'll need some capacitors and a couple more capacitors. There'll be a diode. There's a couple of resistors that are in the box. And then the main part is this. That's an OC44 transistor. However, you can also use a few alternatives like the OC71, of which I have a few as well. But I'm going to stick with the OC44. Well, I'm not 100% sure what the pinout is of this transistor, but this natty little gadget here should tell me. And it tells me which leg is which and what type of transistor it is. It's a PNP. So with that information, I should be able to solder it in the right position. Well, here's the little circuit then. There's our transistor all in place. And I've given it a quick test and it does appear to work. Now, what to mount this in? Because with the circuit board, we've got jack sockets, power input, foot switch and LED. So I thought, why not a freshly painted Frey Bentos tin in Hammerite red. Okay, well I drilled the tin out and you can see that there's these sort of sharp bits here. Now I've got this tool here called a deburring tool. Now I haven't had one of these for years, but we used to use these at college and I used them when I was a radio engineer. And with this you can just kind of scrape round the gaps and you can take out all the rough edges of the metal. And usually it works pretty well. So there, I've got most of it off. Let's take that other bit off there. But yeah, it works pretty well. Well, here it is in all of its Hammerite glory. There's our pedal. Nice big knob on the front. Standard LED and foot switch. And in the back, I've just glued the PCB, rather the Vero board, to the tin, just with a little bit of hot glue there. I've got an extra track there, so that's not connected to anything, so that gives it a space. It just stays in there in place. For this little demo, I'm going to use the Tweed Deluxe clone that I recently built. You may notice my new little badge on the amp. I had this badge made by a guy on eBay, and I thought it came out really well. I put Bovey Tracy Devon as a tribute to my hometown, and also a tribute to Jerry and GP Electronics, also based in my hometown. For this demo I'm going to be using my Sennheiser E609 condenser microphone, which I made a video about a few months back. It's not massively scientific, I've just got it about 5 inches in front of the speaker, pretty much in the centre. And the guitar I'm going to use for this demo is my Gretsch Streamliner 2420, which is slightly modified from stock, which I've talked about in previous videos. But in essence, what I've done is replaced all the plastic knobs with metal ones, and I changed the bridge from a Tune-o-matic to a rolling bridge like my Gretsch Tennessean has. The main aesthetic change though is replacing the terrible stock black scratch plate with this very, very lovely looking silver one that I had made by a guy in America. I've got the pedal plugged in using a standard Boss power adapter. However, I think you can probably hear a problem. Let me demonstrate. That's it in the off position, but then when we switch it on, you can hear that horrible buzzing noise that gets worse when you turn it up. This is actually caused by the pedal being run off a standard switch mode type power supply. The problem is, you see, that old transistors like the OC44 from the 60s really don't feel happy with things like external power supplies. However, there's one way to cure this problem. Well, as you can see, I couldn't paint all of the tin, so I've now replaced the power supply with a standard PP3 9-volt battery, which fits in the battery compartment, as you can see here. Now when I switch on the effect, there's no whistle. Up to full volume and nothing at all. Okay, so I've got everything set in the middle. I've got the tone set in the middle, I've got the guitar, everything wound up, and I'm using the middle position on the pickup. So this is clean tone. Which, you know, pretty good. I'm going to go into the top pickup. And the bass pickup, or neck pickup. So that's kind of the clean sound. So I'm going to bring the pedal in now, and I'm roughly at about 11 o'clock on the knob, which is around about the sort of level that this was when it was clean. But I'll just turn it up a little bit more. And already you can hear a little bit of break up and a bit more tone. If we go to the bridge pickup. So yeah, that sounded really nice. I'm going to go to 12 o'clock now, and I'm going to be in the middle position. Neck pickup. Bridge pickup, sorry. Neck pickup. Right, I'm going to wind it right up now to about 3 o'clock. So this should be, you know, pretty beefy by now. Bridge pickup. Neck pickup. And all the way, full welly. So there you have it. That is what a Dallas Rangemaster top boost sounds like. And I've got to say, if this was all we had in 1965, 66, and you had one of those pedals, you undoubtedly would have got a really nice beefy sound, and you would be ahead of the game with one of these pedals. Are they worth £3,500? No. Are they worth what it cost me to put together to take to the blues jam? Oh yes, and I'm definitely going to be using this next time I'm out playing the blues. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please like and subscribe, and catch me on the next one.